enjoyment, pain, and type 2 fun. Make sure you have KISS in your surname followed by your racing cat in brackets. This can be done via the Zwift mobile link or by the menu button. Click the menu button on the bottom left of your screen, and then by using the edit pencil icon, you can change your name. See how others in the group have their names set up? You should follow this style. Power-ups are allowed for this race, and you can also ride any bike of your choice. Try and grab a wheel or work together in groups. The draft will help everyone out and also make for a great race. You will see the time of those in front start to come down. Results will be found on ZwiftPower.com after the race, but please be patient and wait for the official result banner to appear before asking any questions regarding placings. Now make sure your fan is turned on, you have a towel nearby and a full bidon ready. Have fun and race on.
To you here in this broadcast, and just sit back and relax while I give myself a lot of pain. There's going to be a lot of banter in the game chat, and we're just going to ignore it. There's quite a rivalry here that's going on. I guess we should probably talk about it. It makes it more interesting to watch. But yeah, just if you're just joining us, we're getting ready for a race. This is a community-run race, and we're going 4 laps on a hilly course. The first 10 minutes, and then ensuing every lap is going to be brutally difficult. So it's really important for me to just try to stay with the front in this first lap. Lookman Ascenders PTZ has stated that he wants to shred our team to pieces. So look for us in the blue kits. We'll be getting dropped by Lookman in the white kit. He's on the top left. He's just in the front row right now. Typical hard start, as anticipated. We're going straight into a hilly section. I want to stay in good position because it's going to get strung out. See, look behind me? It's a long line. You don't want to be at the back of the line. Then you have to make up places. So I'm not going to chase my teammate, but I am going to stay close to the front. You can see the incline coming up. Look at the top right corner of your screen. That's the incline. It's also controlling the resistance on my trainer and how hard it is to pedal. So as we go up, it gets hard to the point where I have to shift. All right, so we're just coming over the top of the first hill. Got Alex Vallejo on my wheel. Alex working to keep the pace up, which is great. See, some riders I'm used to racing against, when it goes uphill, we all get dropped together like a family. It's hot. I have 4 fans blowing air across me. So I'm going to be dripping sweat in a moment. I have my heart rate covered up. I don't want to know what it is, because it's a good indication of how much I'm suffering. I'd like to know that afterward. not during. This is not the hill, but it is a hill. Got to push to get over the top. There's Robin. Robin's here, that's good. I just focus on Robin. That should be good. In good position. This climb, guys, man, it's not, the problem with it is that it's kind of steep, but not too steep. So it's not steep enough to just outright drop me, but I mean, sometimes I can stay on, sometimes I can't. So it makes it sort of a mental battle to know that it's possible. Because I know it's possible to get over this thing with the group. But to do it 4 times is a tall order. And that's what's on the menu today. 4 laps. A couple little inclines right here after the village. Definitely got to stay on the pedals. As we go uphill, you can see in the top right, I'm at 1%. It's not very steep, but it's steep enough that the draft doesn't work as well. So that's the critical thing of this game. There's slipstreaming in the physics engine. So if you're behind other riders, you don't have to do as much work because they're pushing the air out of your way. Huge group still. Bookman's just following me. There's the hill. You see those 2 statues? That's the steepest part right there. And then it's a long drag to the finish, or the finish of the uphill part. Really want to stay in position here toward the front as it goes uphill. Gaps open up and they get bigger. Now I'm in like the top 35 wheels, too far back. So I've moved up a little. Too close. You don't want to be on the front. Okay, that's once. 3 to go. Okay, sorry guys, I couldn't talk. Still, can't really talk. We lost a lot of dudes, which is good. Now we just gotta stay away. Dave, if you're listening, ride your own race. Let me get you caught out. Okay, it looks like we're all back together here in the front. We caught Science Sport. James came back. Lookman's still in the bunch. I will try to push Lookman off the back, because that's possible by slowing down in front of another rider. Get a drink. I saw myself drifting toward the back. There goes Lookman. See how the bunch is going into a single file. If it's hard, you just have to make it to the slowdown. Here we go up the hill. brutal. Super focused right now, guys. Second climb. We got close. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna go red on the climb twice just to catch my teammates. Second climb got dropped. Oh well. We have a 1 minute to 22. Oh boy. We have a 1 minute 22 second gap on our chasers. See if we can hold it. Oh, I'm squashed. That was so painful. Basically, we started that climb out with like an all-out 1 minute sprint. So I was doing like 1 minute PB power. And then I had to go for 2 more minutes. It's not possible. So we're in the second lap now, going into third. Once we cross into this banner. Wow, Dwayne has dropped. That's amazing. That means the next group is really strong. We have Mr. Brown as well. So they're closing it down big time. My legs are so roasted. Look at this steering. We're obviously in a group, and those guys are riding in the grass. Why? we're gonna get caught. Hopefully they catch us on the hill. I'm so spent. Back out to a minute. Yuri believes. Yuri's a believer. Robin's too smart, but Yuri's believing. So we gotta push on the pedals a little bit here. I'm struggling to get anything other than zone 2. They're gonna catch us. Pretty soon here. Those time gaps in Zwift are bogus. They just closed 30 seconds in about 1 kilometer. We weren't going that slow. All right, third time. Oh gosh, guys. There they come. Looking in my rear view. Here they are. I am so cooked. Turning the pedals over hurts at 100 watts. One lap to go, one more climb. It's brutal work. I have to stay focused on this course, guys, sorry. There's no flat. There's not really even a meter of flat on this entire route. So I really have to pay attention to what everybody's doing around me. Big chase group here though. Big group. Alright guys, I gotta cast this race. I didn't do anything right there and I just almost yacked. So let me put my glasses on. I'm just gonna soft pedal. And we'll catch up with the front of the race. I'm cooked. Alright, we got a main chase group here coming through, starting lap 4. We got Zun, Brown, Burke, Chan. I'm not in this group. I'm just watching what's going down. Kim here, one lap down off the back. And then here's a main chase group with Sticky, Bottle, Peter Hayworth, and Homer Simpson and Jerome. They're not too far ahead. There's a group not too far behind these boys that they need to watch out for. And various people that are lapped. And then here's the main front group with Hodges, Ascenders, Rukawa, Hartley, Ligtermoet. Awesome ride from, I believe that's Matt, or I actually really don't know. Ligtermoet though, the Australian here, putting in a really solid ride. Usually he's back with me in the vomit train. Not that he's necessarily vomiting, but in the hurt house. This is what happens in these races, is you get sort of this war of attrition. Nobody really goes for an all-out attack, but usually you just sort of ride away from people, and if they can't hold your wheel, then they get dropped. So just to be clear, I'm not riding in this bunch. I was, but I almost threw up. So I'm gonna just take it easy and bring you guys another perspective on the race. Tell you what I'm seeing these guys doing. So they're pushing big watts right now. They're going up a hill. You can see in the top right corner of the screen, 2%. So that means if they have a smart trainer, it's adjusting the resistance. As they go up a hill, it sort of squeezes down, just like when you lose your momentum in real life. You have to shift gears, perchance, or you have to push harder, push over that. So right now they're coming down into the sprint. At all these little banners, you can get power-ups. You might see some of these guys use a power-up right now so that they get a new one as they go through. Kind of like Mario Kart, you know, when you go through the... See, Lookman just dropped his drafting boost. So that lets him have an aerodynamic advantage behind other riders. And he's looking to get a better one here going through. The best one in the game is the Aero helmet, which gives you an aerodynamic advantage no matter where you are, if you're behind other people, in front of other people. So it's really good for a sprint, and it's the most coveted in the game. There's also a featherweight, which sort of makes you lighter and gives you the effect of having a higher power to weight ratio. So all these riders you see, they are all people like me on real bikes. There are no AI in this game. It is all real people. So Lookman, representing Singapore in this bunch, the lead bunch here. Hartley out of the UK. Hodges out of the UK. He really likes cake. He's on my team here. KRT, KISS Racing Team. That's the original purpose of this broadcast, was a racer focus. But like I said, on the hillier courses, you have to be really fit to all stay together and have that tactical sort of situation. On Tuesday we had a flat course, much more tactical because it's much harder to split the bunch up. So we were able to sort of have a plan for the last 5 miles. Who was going to pull, who was going to stay in the slipstream. Slipstream's important in this game because the physics engine lets you save power when you're in the slipstream. So these boys now coming through the last little bumps before they get to the real climb, which is the real test. And then they will be shortly thereafter at the finish. You can see on the top right of your screen, this is the overall, the overall profile. Just follow my mouse pointer here. So these guys are right here at this orange dot. The KOM, the King of the Mountain hill climb, ends right here at this red checkered polka dot thing, just like the Tour de France polka dot jersey, right? But this group of 4 is right now contesting for all of the podium places and for the win. Looks like Hartley there took a flyer off the back. Hartley is in the camo. He looks like his avatar is a little more heavy set. I'd watch out for Ukawa, I think that's who that is. Lookman here has the red, green, and blue stripes on his back. And then Lichtermoed is in the neon kit. You see these special bikes here. Lookman's not riding one, but you can see these guys with these fancy, like hollow looking wheels and colorful rims. That's an achievement in the game. So all these bikes are unlockable as you progress through the game. So right now we're coming past the gas station here on the right. That's where the climb starts. You'll see a white line in the road. First lap through, we did this thing in 3 minutes 40 seconds, which is a brutal pace. Again, I'm not in this bunch right here because I wouldn't be able to talk. I'm just riding along behind because I almost threw up, and I really don't want to throw up on the stream. And I wasn't even doing anything. So we're gonna follow the race unfolding in front of us. There's a big old chase group not too far back. And these, I thought there were 4 of them, but it looks like there's 5. So these 5 guys are now coming into the steep part of the climb. You see the top right corner of your screen, 4.8%. Ascender's now at 5.5 watts per kilogram. Ukawa throwing it down to come up. He's trying to maintain position. Nobody here is really working to drop anybody at this point. They just want to stay in a good spot for when that pace does go out. Lichtermoed now on the front in the orange numbers, 8.4 watts per kilogram, 617 watts. He's grinding away, 75 RPM. Heart rate getting up there, I don't know what it is. Coming through the alien statues right now with Lookman not too far behind. They're throwing down huge numbers right now. Got to carry that inertia over the top. Here goes Hodges, 7.3, just keeping it right over the top. A little bit of a respite. This is a rolling climb. It's not just one constant grade. So you really have to stay focused, keeping those watts down in the downhills, because as soon as it ticks back up, you're going to see it spike once again with Hartley now off the front on the left-hand side, 6.7 watts per kilogram. He's got the continuance. He backs right back off though. Doesn't want to go too far into the red here this early in the climb. It's going to be about 3 minutes total. We're probably a minute and a half in. Just want to remind you, I'm not in this group. I'm way off the back. Almost threw up, so I'm going to talk about what's actually happening in the race instead of just watching me easy pedal on my own in no man's land. We got Hodges right now. Now they're betting into their climbing pace. Hartley on the front, 5.0 watts per kilogram. Lichtermoed not too far behind, 4 watts per kilo. Lookman doing 4.6. This is their climbing pace. Nobody's really committed. These are not attacks. This is just that brutal grind, that threshold pace that you got to be able to maintain after all the surges happen. That's what makes a great climber. We're not on a very long climb here. It's only 3 minutes or so. But at the same time, that makes the attacks all the more brutal, all the more stinging in the legs here as Hodges now coming around the back. Expert move from Hodges. He lights it up, going on the left-hand side. He's got a gap off the front. He slingshotted around. This is his move. This is going to take him to the line. He's putting all his eggs in one basket here. Lookman coming across closing down the gap. Hodge is probably not happy to see that, but he's just going to keep it pegged. 6.7 watts per kilo. Lookman now trying to recover. Hodges, if he has another dig, is going to go right now. This is the time. The last little incline. Hodges does not have a sprint compared to these other boys. Lichtermoet now having gotten towed back on by Lookman. Lookman just staying in the wheels, never taking up the front. Hartley now 1 second back. He's got to close that gap down right now. He's got to keep on the pedals now. 1 second the gap. We're watching the finish of a brutal race. This group started with 40 boys going over the first climb together. Now we're in the fourth and final climb, and it looks like only 4 remain in this race. Hartley looking for some recovery. Now Lookman keeping it honest. Lichtermoet looks to have some pretty good legs here today. 488 watts. They're carrying this over the top. Hodges up to 7 watts per kilogram. It's all about the power to weight ratio here. This is the chase group coming up the climb right now. We're going to stick with the leaders as they go into the finish. It looks like a serious race as they're coming into the steeper parts of the climb. Back in the main chase group, they are not going to catch. This race is down to these 4 boys right up here. Ascenders, Lichtermoet, Hodges, and Hartley. I'm not in this group. I got dropped. So we're going to just keep it pinned right up here with the front boys as they come into the finish, because my avatar is in no man's land behind. I almost threw up and don't really want to do that in front of all the boys and girls at Mixer.com, Twitch, and over on Facebook. Hello, everyone. I am staying focused on the race. Nonetheless, though, we're coming into the final descent right now. Everybody just trying to get a little bit of juice back into the legs. Maybe a spin, maybe taking a few big gulps of air as we come into the final portions of the race. Probably 600-700 meters left of this race right now. We got Lookman throwing it down, just trying to stay in the wheels. Hartley first wheel right now, 6 watts per kilogram. He's going to ramp it up. We go around under the bridge. Then we take a right-hand turn and we'll see the finish line from there. Hartley, nobody wants to make it stick. Ascenders here, 3.4 watts per kilo. They're playing games. It's cat and mouse right now out here on Zwift, the virtual cycling platform, as we come into the finish of the Kiss America's AM racing here. I am off the back and just bringing you the excitement from the front here. Hodges from the KRT, second wheel. Hartley now, this is it. Hartley, 8.4 watts per kilogram. Hodges kicking it up to 9 watts per kilo. Lookman just behind Hartley. If he can hold on, he'll take the win. Hodges just staying in the wheels. If Hodges can open it up now, he brings out the arrow, but Lookman matches him. Arrow to arrow. Here we go. Hodges on the right. Hodges has the gap. Hodges holding it. Hodges out in front. Hodges, is he going to make it stick? It's going to be right down to the line here. Just coming through, and it looks like Lookman coming to take the win at the last second on the right-hand side. Interesting how Lookman's power stayed at 11 watts per kilogram after the line. He really wanted to make sure that that stuck. Let's check back in with our chasing boys and girls just behind here in the race. Looks like Alex has dropped off the pace and we have lost for just a moment the group. Here's Zund. They're coming down. This is the main chase group. They're racing for 4th place right now. Onifre out in front. Dwayne, though. Dwayne made the attack. And we've got Hayworth, Sticky Bottle. Okay, these guys are all out in front. It looks like it went down on the climb. Jerome now out in front. Jerome Marriott, our Frenchman from KRT, out in front. He's probably got 600-700 meters to go, but Sports Science from Australia taking him on. His Tuesday is already over with. They're down under. And Sticky Bottle comes around on the right, but it looks like Watson now. Wow, there's all kinds of people riding through here right now. Sticky Bottle just trying to hold it, but it looks like Sports Science comes around on the left, but Jerome and Hayworth is there. Man, we got so many people on KRT. Who's going to take it right at the line? It looks like Sports Science is going to stay on for the front position there out of that main chase group. All right, everyone. A lot of good racing there. Here's another sprint about to go down. They're coming into the final stretch. Right now we got Cowan, Segura, Mana all together here. Robin Zund is my pick. He's raced a super solid race. He's going to lead it out right now with the Aero Power Up, 8.1 watts per kilogram. But he's got Mr. Brown right behind. Cogs coming through. We got to get the overhead shot to see, is Zund going to be able to hold them off? It looks like indeed Robin Zund coming through to win that bunch kick. Great stuff. If I had stayed on, I probably would have been in that group. But look at me. I'm pedaling very slowly up the climb. This is no man's land where a lot of people end up racing in Zwift races. That was an inside look at what it takes to race on Zwift, the virtual cycling platform. This is my avatar right here on this fancy bike. I'm dropped way